In some pinkish-reddish empty room, green circuit board symbols all over the wall with cubes floating around. A sleeping little Irken starts to groan while waking up, putting a hand on his forehead, slowly sitting up, and he asks who gave Zim this headache. But when he is about to stand up, he hits his head on a cube, making him so mad he attacks it. A man's voice from out of nowhere starts explaining step by step what has happened until few minutes ago. And please stop hurting yourself. Zim manages to stand up this time. In frustration, he pulls his antennas down while yelling at the ceiling that Zim did not ask for the second headache pack. Only the first one. PAK is wanting Zim to stop doing that before Zim pulls out our antennas, making us go deaf or something. And for your question, someone sneak attack you from the behind. Zim stops pulling on his antennas but still is not happy with the answers, so asks where he is. You already know where you are. Zim so wanted to get PAK but decided just breathed in and out to calm down, and then he walks off while saying, whatever, Zim is going to find way out of here now. PAK say he will tell him when you reconnect to a familiar hallway. Zim didn't really believe it at all. Now at a never-ending long hallway with statues and paintings of Zim self every step of the way. As he is walking, he asks PAK to call Dr. Spin. The PAK cannot, there is no Irken satellite nearby. Zim then call computer. Still can't reach. Zim, anyone at all? There isn't anyone nearby, you know, and stop your panicking. Invaders do not panic at all. That why they are trained for something like this. Mad Zim yells back. Then he came to a fork in the hallway. The PAK tells him what is front of him, and there is a familiar hallway up ahead, so there. This irritated Zim, but he ignored it once again, while raising his hand to pop up a hologram map and now wanting to know which way would lead him to the exit. To the PAK, not really his problem, only making a map where Zim's location is. So he pops the hologram map down and is going to do the next logical thing, what any Irken would do in this kind of situation, by saying, "Eeny meeny miny mo." Dr. Spin tells Zim to choose you. The PAK couldn't believe it, but what if Dr. Spin is wrong? Then Zim will just complain when Zim finds her. As he goes to the right, and PAK tells him that he is needing to step out to do some work. And can you try not to die on me while I'm gone? Zim just yada 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 at PAK while still walking down the hall, so PAK did what he said he was going to do and left. But when Zim takes a step in the right hallway, from out of nowhere black blue purplish fire pops up right in front of him. This freaks him out and he quickly jumps back like a cat. Then in the fire's place is a same size black silhouette dragon, one eye and with two feather wings on one side and two bat wings on the other side, and with a top hat on his head. Zim wanted to know is, who are you? The dragon pretend to be sad when said in a Spanish accent, oh, don't you remember me at all? I'm your best friend BH. BH only white eye started glowing red. This makes Zim eyes widen and also glow the same red color as well for a moment until their eyes went back to normal. That's when Zim became mad and started yelling at him to stop teleporting in Zim face. And how dare you disappear when saving Zim, and just when Zim friends had show up to help Zim. Also you almost gave Zim a heart attack. BH laughs for a bit until that would be amazing if you had one. Irritated Zim cross his arms. What do you want anyway? BH then tries to talk him out of going to down the right hallway and instead take the left one, even if it looks way more dangerous. Zim then started to overly thinking things the right and the left way for a moment, then he stomps through BH ghostly body. BH says while looking at Zim, you are too smart for me. But he notices Zim going the wrong way, then say oh come on, as he put his claw over his only eye. Then for some reason Zim stops and takes a few steps back, his antennas drop and he is now gasping for air, clutching his chest. Zim just somehow knows that certain doom is down this hall if he goes any further. He turns his head and looks back at a happy BH who is waving his claw. Zim then looks where he was going but just can't further, so he decides to go to the left way instead. BH tries asking what the matter. A worry Zim didn't answer. A smile plays across BH's face and he sees that Zim is going the right way. He is just about to leave, then he notices someone has came down from the right hallway ceiling. It's a very small corrupted Irken with a white fiery head and error's spider legs. BH attacks it with one laser eye. This makes the corrupted Irken more glitch out and falls to the floor where he doesn't move anymore. BH laughs as he teleports out same way he got in. now in a room with a big plate in the middle and hologram computer around it. Zim is happy he is going to be out of here, and so is PAK. As happy Zim is walking towards the middle of the room until for some reason he stopped once again and his antennas and face drop, making PAK ask what the hold up. Sadly Zim looks up wanting to ask PAK something very important. PAK already knew what Zim wanted. And no, we can't start over. Zim tries to get a say in the conversation, but PAK knows that he is only saying anything because Zim Guardian told him to make up. You really don't mean it. So whatever Zim says is useless. Or unless you're willing to tell me who you were talking to in the hallway when I left. Zim really didn't understand what he is talking about. Going to be that way again. Fine. So said the mad PAK. Just try to stay out of my home, please. That really makes Zim mad and he starts yelling, you can't tell Zim what to do at all. Anyway, you know Zim is still going out, but not because of you but more because that's the only way out of here. Fine. Zim also yells out fine. They did it back and forth for a bit as Zim makes his way to the controls when